Hey, bud.
Hi.
Happy Friday. Welcome to
Happy
NHL Puck
Friday.
Props. Covers, sports interaction. What a night that was, pal.
Oh, was it an awesome night? We were on fire. We were one shot away from going perfect on the night.
Yeah, couldn't get the Nino shot. If you looked at the box score for the Winnipeg game, the Jets defense absolutely stole every shot attempt
Yeah.
in that game, but did see some minutes there. And at least you know you're on the right side when you look at Nino today. We got it plus 115, plus 120 yesterday. He's even money today.
Mhm.
So he certainly moved, and little 4-1 plus 3+ units last night. I hit a personal best, a big one. Not throwing it out there too much, but it is nice to hit one of those once in a while. Uh,
Dude, plus
and
12,000 on the parlay.
yeah,
Good for
yeah,
you, buddy.
yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a tough night to sleep, but it was a great one. But back at it today. That's what we do. After that personal best, sitting here sweating out Turkish soccer at 10 o'clock in
Wait
the
a minute. You're
morning.
sweating out bronze medal action between Finland and Czech Republic?
No, my sweet spot's in the Super League in Turkey, and for a guy who follows football but doesn't like religiously follow football, it is amazing how much time these guys have off. Like the league games don't happen. It's amazing. Like you just check the schedule, you're like, oh, they don't play again. Oh, they don't play again. So
Wait a
happy.
minute. Are you referring to football as in soccer?
Yes. Come on,
Yeah.
pal.
You
Let's go.
can't say anything. You can't
I
say
know, leave me
football and
alone.
expect me to think
Football,
anything but the NFL. Come on, not at
football,
this time of
pal.
year.
All right,
Yeah.
all odds coming via Sports Interaction. Special day in the hockey world today. If you're an under better, the three lowest scoring teams over the last 30 days: Washington, Anaheim, Chicago, all in action tonight. Three of the four lowest scoring teams over the last 60 days. If you throw San Jose in the mix, let's go. Carolina at Washington. Washington team total under 2.5, minus 110. This is another number that I was expecting to pay at least 15 to 20 points more juice early today. Carolina is a team that absolutely just smothers and shuts down team. And Pyotr Kochetkov, your partner in crime, Aaron Korolnik, is probably wondering where this play was last year. He was probably when he was holding 100-1 for the Calder for
Yeah.
Kochetkov,
Yeah.
because he is the goalie right now. 6-1-2 over his last 9 starts. 1.86 goals against, 969 save percentage. It's still been like Carolina's still been the same Carolina team. They just haven't been getting the goaltending.
Mhm.
Obviously, Freddie Anderson was gone and Andy Aranta was unclaimed on waivers. But here they are now, and Washington scored just 8 goals over the last 5 meetings, under 3 in 17 of 36 games this year. We saw Max Pacioretty come back. Dylan Strome's shot total is off the board, so we wiped that one out. That one doesn't exist anymore. But we had the boost, obviously, with Patch coming back. They scored 3 versus New Jersey in the last game, but that was more in the goaltending of the Devils. How difficult is it to bring someone in like Pacioretty, who's been off for that long with a lower body injury like that, to kind of get in the mix? This is a team that's scoring 2.36 goals over the last 30 days.
Yeah.
Now has to face a Rod Brindamore structured team. Would you give Washington much of a chance here?
Like Washington to me has been a very unpredictable team. Earlier in the week when we did the show, I love the Pittsburgh Penguins against them because I pointed out how poorly Washington has been scoring goals lately, and then they put up a 4 spot against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The other night, I liked the under in the game between between New Jersey and Washington, and we get
9 goals.
screwed because of a last minute goaltender
But
change
that
in
was
that
still the
game.
right move. I think that there was
I,
only
I agree. I
like
agree.
53 shots, and there wasn't a lot of expected goals.
I agree. And even though you saw the goals that went in, like me and you could have stopped some of those goals. And we're talking guys that are playing in the NHL in net. So got screwed in that one. And, you talked about the Pacioretty angle. It's clear that when you can welcome a guy like that in the lineup that has been through so much over the last 2 years with injuries, you're looking you're obviously feeling good for the guy, but you're looking for that to create a spark in the group, a different energy in the group. You're bringing a guy that's played a great career, has been known for scoring big goals, can ignite your offense. And it did for a little bit. I mean, they scored 3 goals, but what can we really expect from this Washington team still, especially going against a team like you mentioned in Carolina that's getting way better goaltending and is playing up to their potential right now, where their power play is clicking, their offense is clicking, they found their structure on defense, and a lot of that is triggered because of the confidence that they're getting in net from their goaltender.
Crystal Craig out there in the chat, appreciate it. She's a fan for sure. We've talked to her quite a bit. Shot props have been brutal. Absolutely. Yeah. Shot props have been brutal. And it's not just guys who come up short. I mean, I laddered, who did we have in the early game? James Jonah Paterka. He was up to 5 shots. He finished with 3. They took away 2 shots. And I saw that, like, he had shots that got whistles. Those are the safe ones, right? Shot on net, frozen puck. You think those ones count, but they go up and down, and it is still a wild ride. And if you watch a hockey game and try to find out who gets some of those shots from point shots and stuff like that, it's not an easy science. So be aware when you're betting on that it's sometimes I prefer looking at points, looking at goals, but and it's a market that's tough. Steve says any New Jersey game is an over, no defense, only young, skilled offense with questionable word goaltending. Oh, good. No, but that's, I mean, Dawes is, I don't know who's in net tonight. Obviously, it has been questionable, but it's a team that structurally and in metrics are a great defensive team. Like, they're not
the Devils you're talking about.
Yeah, the Devils. Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully they can get some goaltending, much like it's the same case with Carolina too. So if they can get that goaltending, expect there to be some value on the unders going forward. Let's jump to the next one. I think that's such a good price right there for the Washington team.
No kidding.
Minus 110. Oh, how exciting is that? Let's
division battle too.
Yeah. Chicago, Jersey.
Here we go. Stir DeMar.
Bedsy. Bedsy coming off his MSG game. He wasn't even made available
to the media
following that game.
Yeah, it's surprising too, because before the game he was announced as the All-Star, so maybe people wanted to talk to him about that. But
was last night's 4-1 loss any different than any other loss Chicago had? Well, another tough one.
Yeah,
this is possibly the worst team in hockey. I think like it's between them and San Jose, and right now, I mean, Anthony Beauvillier's injured now. Seth Jones, Taylor Hall obviously out. I believe he's playing with Donato, Ryan Granato. Is it Ryan Granato?
Ryan Donato.
Yes. And Kirchev on that top line right now. But so the Chicago team total under 2.5 is about minus 185. That seems like a very drastic difference between that and the Washington one to me, where they should probably be a lot closer, but they aren't. So let's pivot. Bedsy's under 0.5 points, plus 120 half unit. Couldn't decide which one I wanted, so we take both. Under 2.5 shots on goal, plus 115. Devils are a tough shot on goal matchup. We highlighted that with the Dylan Strome play on Wednesday. He finished with 1. And New Jersey is the top 5 team in shot attempts allowed per 60 at 5-on-5. Chicago hasn't led in any of their last 3 games, a span in which they've been outscored 15-2. They're on an epically bad run right now. This is the lowest scoring offense in hockey since December 1st at 2.0 per game, 17-game stretch. The worst 5-on-5 team, expected goals for over that amount too. So with the Chicago team total under 2.5, just projecting a Bedard point here is pretty tough. How much hard, but like another angle, like looking structurally at hockey, question for you though, how much harder is this matchup for Bedard on the road than at home, obviously without last change, versus like a checking center like Nico Hischier, who's a pretty big stud defensively? Yeah. How easy is it for a team like New Jersey to shut down one line for Chicago, because that's all they have to do?
Yeah, and that's you nailed it. That's the difficulty with any road game that Chicago plays, is that because they don't get the last change, it's easier for the other team to match up who they want to play against Bedard. Because let's look at Chicago's rest of the lineup. You pointed out perfectly. There's nobody else there that instills fear into, the team that they're playing. You're not really worried. I would imagine the strategy for New Jersey is, look, we're not going to really worry about matchups. We're going to focus on rolling 4 lines, and we're going to try to match or at least play 2 lines that we feel like can play with, not worry about shutting down Bedard's line. Because again, you don't feel like they're a threat except for him, but play with that line, knowing that even regardless of what line you decide to play against those guys, you probably feel better that you'll play more of that time on the ice in the offensive zone, just because there isn't that threat of help for a guy like Bedard. So look, this is challenging. Bedard got off to a great start, and with each game they keep losing good players, and we knew they didn't have many of them to start with. And you wonder how much this will play into his production for the rest of the season. The ice time is still going to be there. He's still going to be getting a lot of it. He's still going to be finding himself in those situations, because through 60 minutes, it's hard for one team to be completely in the offensive zone without playing defense as well too. And look, we can crap on the Blackhawks, deservingly so, because they're a bad hockey team. But bad hockey teams find chances within a game too. In Chicago, you can't tell the players that are playing, even though most of them are American League Hockey League players, they've got a lot to play for themselves. They're going to compete. They're going to find ways to create some chances. But for the most part, I think the strategy going in is try to eliminate as many of those chances as you can.
Who's the number 2 goal scorer in Chicago?
Wow. I couldn't even tell you.
He's from Georgetown.
Oh, is it Dickinson? Jason Dickinson?
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Georgetown, home of Jason Dickinson, Mackenzie Entwistle, and 13 other guys on the Chicago Blackhawks. Oh.
Yeah. Represent.
Alan McCauley.
Okay.
Jason Hayward.
The baseball player?
Oh, sorry, Brian Hayward.
Oh, Brian Hayward.
Oh,
Isn't Stamkos from there too? Or is he Newmarket?
No. Stamkos is not from here.
Okay, right on. Who cares?
He would be at the top of the list. No.
Jingles is the rock star in Georgetown.
It's different. It's different from the hamlet of Glen Williams. All right, let's get rolling here. Bedsy fades. Why not?
All right.
Late game. This is dumb. Like it's the market. I get that, but and it's on back to back. And we mentioned it the other day that there's probably more value in betting teams on the back to back, because what people perceive is a disadvantage in the back to back. Winnipeg goes to Anaheim. They're in San Jose last night. They won a snoozer 2-1. They've got all their lines going basically. If we saw the stat sheet. Anaheim team total under 2.5 minus 110. I have to double check this number right now at Sports Interaction.
Yeah, you better get on it now before it moves, because after what we say, it's probably going to move. I mean, this doesn't make any sense at all. Are they not paying attention to the juggernaut that the Winnipeg Jets have been over the last 2 months of the season? I mean, they win or lose, they don't give up that many goals. Yesterday was the 27th straight game that they have not giving up more than 3 goals in a game. And it was against the Sharks. They only gave up 1, but 19 of the last 22 have been under 3 goals.
Banana.
What are they missing here? How is this only minus 110?
Yeah. So if we're looking at the other one, so what's going into this price? Obviously, Chicago under 2.5. I'm kind of putting all of these teams, Chicago, Anaheim, and Washington, as a similar projection for team total goals, somewhere around 2. Okay. In that situation, Chicago gets hit more. They're about minus 190. Chicago gets hit more because they're on the road. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anaheim's getting this price because of the back-to-back for Winnipeg. Laurent Bressant's in, but he's been just as steady as we highlighted in the San Jose game. We said we didn't care who was in, if they went Hellebuck or if they went Bressant. We got lucky. We got Hellebuck, which was a better price. But I'm happy with Laurent Bressant, who has been an absolute stud in that situation. And then you add in what we mentioned that kind of hurt us in the Toronto handicap with that flu bug or that illness that was going around the Anaheim locker room. It's not like that's gone after 2 days.
Right.
Like, right. So,
and they're still missing significant pieces after that too. I mean, Troy Terry is not playing. Ryan Strome didn't play. Gudis didn't play. So, they're missing some key players in their lineup.
And these are guys who probably lost some water, lost some dehydration in the situation. But like, you just don't all of a sudden get back to full strength after something like that. Cool thing about the San Jose game last night, went to sleep 1-0, woke up, San Jose didn't score another goal. Like,
yes,
like Winnipeg can lock it down even in trail mode. Like, they don't, some teams, when they have to play from behind, have to give up defensive structure, defensive play. Winnipeg doesn't. And like you said, this is such a deep team up front and like in their bottom 9 that they can hold you down even when they're in trail mode. And if Winnipeg gets up in this game, I don't see Anaheim. And we saw it in the Toronto game. Anaheim doesn't even play with the puck much. Yeah. Like, the amount Toronto must have had 75 shot attempts in that game.
More than that if they had 57 shots on net.
Yeah, true.
All right.
And then so obviously there's some priced in the shot on goal markets here for Winnipeg. We see Nino go from +120 to even money. That's a tough one to jump on. Alex Iafallo is something I kind of liked at +125, but I'm just going to go on the angle that big guys are getting their shots easily versus Anaheim. And we saw it with the Toronto game where the big four just got a billion shots on net. Yeah. And just going to go with Ehlers, over 3.5 shots on goal, even money. He's the highest shooting guy on the team, leads the team in shot attempts per 60, shots on goal per 60. Coming off 16 minutes last night, maybe could see a bit more if something works out. Game script does worry me a bit, but I mean, let's just take a page out of the Toronto book in this situation. They finish up that road trip and hopefully just kind of get their points here.
Yeah, I think that's the proper approach to take with Winnipeg here. I mean, it's probably going to be one of those games that you would look at as a letdown game coming off of the game yesterday, and you got Anaheim and everything that they're dealing with. But the Jets have proven that they're not no pushover, and they don't take games for granted, and they find a way to still will their way through games like they did last night. I don't expect anything to change for tonight.
Yeah, let's go with that. My man Carlo here has been on the beat for basically 24 hours straight.
3 hours sleep right now, bud.
Injecting. Oh, how hard is it to do a panel game where your game is Ottawa versus Seattle?
Well, I started with
games are not exciting.
Well, last night was kind of exciting. Joey Decord, this guy's coming out of nowhere, man. I mean, former Sen and is really, resurrected the Seattle Kraken season because early on they just couldn't get any saves with Grubauer in net. He's helped them win 6 in a row, and he was a beast last night, making all kinds of crazy saves. And yeah, I mean, you never get, you never really worry about the matchup. You focus on the work, and it was double duty last night.
You did 2 good games where betting angles were pretty sweet. If you saw Joey Decord versus his own team, and then you saw Devin Levi step into his first game in Montreal as a native and absolutely stonewall the Canadians, especially late in that game. It was 5-1, but it was a lot closer than kind of the score showed.
Well, it was a lot of saves he made early in that game too that gave Buffalo the better chance to win. So
yeah, so you hear us talk about money on the board in situations like that. You definitely see it big with time. Some performances. You don't get them all, but if you're looking for betting angles, certainly look into stuff that's not priced in, and that would be a lot of that stuff. So let's go Friday, last show of the week here at NHL Puck Props, brought to you by Sports Interaction. No show tomorrow. We did the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday thing. Probably we'll be doing that again next week. We'll let you know. Let's do a quick recap with producer Mickey on the buttons there. Washington team total under 2.5, -110. Bedard under 0.5 points, +120 half unit, under 2.5 shots for the other half unit of plus money. Anaheim team total under. This could be my favorite play of the entire.
It is. I'm locking it in right now.
-110. And then Ehlers, oh yeah, you need to stay up for more late hockey games. Ehlers over 3.5 shots on goal in a great shot on goal matchup for Winnipeg, even money. Let's do that. 3 of the lowest scoring teams in action over the last 30 days. Chicago, Anaheim, and Washington in play. So lots of fading unders in play tonight. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Carlo Colaiacovo. This is Covers His Puck Props, brought to you by Sports Interaction. Appreciate everybody there. We'll see you Wednesday for another show. Lead us out, pal.
Let's keep the winners coming. Let's go.